RYUC After Action Report Essential. Everything created by a human. This recording is part of a series of recordings reporting on an exploration into our creativity, collectively entitled Releasing Your Unlimited Creativity After Action Report, abbreviated RYUC-AAR. This particular recording addresses the creativity essential. Everything created by humans started as a single thought in a unique subjective mind. Background on the creativity essentials and the RYUC material. The creativity essentials are concepts, principles, ideas, or whatever one may wish to call them, related to the source out of which our creativity arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed the essentials needed to be addressed and understood in some way by an individual if one desired to move as deep as possible into their own creativity, creative ability, and creative power in this incarnation. Otherwise, one would be placing self-imposed limits on their creativity. Essentials are not building blocks or fundamental items used to create something. Rather, the essentials are about the stuff out of which the building blocks and foundational items arise. It is suggested you ponder, contemplate, do your own experiments with the creativity essentials such that you know their truth for yourself. Here I wish to bring to your attention we each have a very unique perspective of creation. What I say and write about on the topic of creativity with its relationship with the creative essence of creation are my comments based on my observation and experience from the journey of exploration into our creativity. If what I say resonates with you, use it. Otherwise, it's recommended you do your own contemplation, experiments, and exploration into the variety of topics discussed here to see which true for yourself. The origins of human creation. The creative essence of creation is the stuff out of which all creation arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed all that can readily be said about the stuff out of which creation arises is that it is creative. It creates. Since this creative essence of creation flows through us and sustains us, we too are creative, and we cannot not create. But the implications go much deeper than just realizing that we are creators. Although from the human perspective, some individuals say that consciousness underlies all creation, but the same can be said about energy underlying all of creation. Yet others have said all arises from a field of infinite possibilities or probabilities. Many mystics who have reported to have moved past perception of thought reports to experience a nothingness, and they say all arises out of this nothingness. But this experience of a nothingness does not mean there's nothing there. Rather, it's just that there is no form for the human mind to perceive as the human mind perceives form. It is only the human perception experiences a nothingness. The stuff of creation also embodies a self-organizing activity or intelligence that gives rise to the form we experience in creation. Yet all we can really say about this stuff of creation out of which all creation arises is that it has attributes of and can be experienced as consciousness, or as energy, or symbolically in mathematics as an infinite field of possibilities and probabilities, or a nothingness, and embodying a self-organizing ability or intelligence. But in any case, this stuff is creative and has created the universe we experience, and its creative power and its creative ability is within each of us. In reality, nothing more can really be said about this stuff of creation. The actual stuff out of which creation arises is a mystery and will always be a mystery to exactly how creation works, and any explanation will have a mystical quality to it. Unfortunately, contrary to what our mind believes, our mind and its human perspective is incapable of fully grasping the actual understanding of what this creative essence of creation really is. Here we need to realize everything that exists which has not been created by what we call God or nature originated from a single thought within a single subjective human mind. It is very important to understand, for everything that exists that has not been created by what humans would call God or not created by nature started as a single thought in the mind of a single individual. Everything goes back to a unique subjective perception an individual had of themselves and creation. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything created by a human goes back to a single thought and experience of one person, giving rise to the thought residing and unfolding in any creation developed by the humans. All of it. This means every spiritual or religious belief, any social custom or way of being, any form of government, any scientific principle, any medical or healing practice. It doesn't matter what it is. It all started as a thought in a unique subjective mind of an individual. When communicated, others will simply accept that thought and build or act on that thought, and before we realize it, we have manifested all that humans have brought into existence. But the thought that gives rise to what humans create still started in the mind of a single unique subjective perception of an individual. To say a single thought can change the world is not an understatement. A single thought of a human mind has changed the world repeatedly, and it needs to be noted that the single thought arose from a very unique and subjective perception of creation within a single individual. Others may have bought into that thought that changed the world because it appeared to work for them. The question is, who is carrying those original subjective thoughts that can provide the world with the solutions we seek? It could be you. But you must live your uniqueness before it can fully manifest. Living our truth and our uniqueness allows us to give our gifts to the world. For after all, the thought you have may be the seed that changes the world. You are that powerful whether you realize it or not. Consequently, anything we can say about God or nature and the creative essence of creation all starts from the human perception and arises from a single thought from the perception of a human mind. Even if the awareness within the human mind perceives something outside of physical creation, it is still communicated and perceived through the human mind's interpretation. The main implication with the creative essence of creation flowing through us is to understand we will create. We cannot not create. The essence of our being is about creating. To create is to bring something into existence. Every action we take brings a way of being into creation. We, of course, in living our life as a creative being, we can create something that currently exists, or we can create a new form or variation of something already existing, or creating something completely new, original, and never before existing. Here we need to understand our life is a new, original, never before existing creation. No one has lived our life before us, and no one will live our life after us. We are unique, original creations. As such, we will always live in the unknown. Mind only knows the past and what it has experienced. A new, never-before-experienced creation has never been experienced. As such, mind has no way of knowing what it will experience. Hence, other than projecting the past into the way we live our life will always be a journey into the unknown. The need to nurture the uniqueness of the individual. In understanding all has been created by humans started as a single thought arising from the perception of a unique subjective human mind leads us to the importance of our creativity. That is, our ability to bring things or experiences into existence. It was observed to fully and effectively access and use our creativity, one must believe in themselves and learn to embrace their uniqueness. It needs to be understood that we all each are very incredibly unique. No one has our joy, no one has our pain. Nobody sees the world as we do. Most individuals find it very hard to maintain our uniqueness and live in our unique perception when we have to try and fit into the world. One of the biggest challenges we face in life is to try and find a way to be acceptable to those individuals in our world and yet at the same time be able to live our uniqueness. Having the ability to live and embrace our uniqueness starts with empowerment. Empowerment is the key to our creativity and creating a satisfying and fulfilling life. The importance of being self-empowered to embrace our uniqueness and our unique creativity goes well beyond what the individual may want for their life. What needs to be understood is because of our incredible uniqueness, we have a very unique perception of creation and into life itself. Additionally, As said, what needs to be understood is that everything that has ever been created by humans, no matter what it is, started as a single thought in a unique subjective mind. This is an incredible thing to realize. It is an incredible thing to realize, to say a single thought can change the world, because a single thought has changed the world and done so repeatedly throughout the history of humanity. So the question is, who carries that single thought, that perception, that unique way of seeing the world that will bring forth the idea that humanity is looking for to solve its problem? We don't know who carries it, but it is within some individual. So it is very important that each individual learn to embrace their uniqueness and be sufficiently self-empowered to be able to act on that uniqueness and learn to dance with the world. It is to dance with the world in a way that we perceive our uniqueness and our unique perception and bring forth those thoughts and ideas that may be needed by the world in a way the world will get what it needs. The most important advice that can be shared with any individual is seek to become self-empowered. For humanity to go forward, it's only through the empowerment of individuals and the uniqueness to bring forth their creativity and creative ideas will give us what we need for the world to solve its problems. Empowering an individual is not about giving them more information. It is very important to give information to individuals so they can survive in the world and maybe find some success in the world. However, success in the mind of the world is not success necessarily what the individual needs for their experience of life. Empowerment is more about calling forth from within the individual the unique perception and way of being and giving the individual the tools to communicate what one sees and communicates with others in their life. So the question becomes, how does one go about empowering somebody? Giving information is easy. You can look at all the education programs that are out there, all the self-development programs, all that information. But to empower somebody is to be able to sit with them, talk to them, and see where they are not able to fully embrace their own uniqueness and the importance of their own being. To empower somebody is challenging. It takes a special kind of heart and a special kind of interest. It is a talent which seeks to call forth that individual's heart, the passion of the individual. The question is there one thing that could be given to an individual that would be something that they could use throughout their life, no matter where they are, what they do, to find that fulfillment and satisfaction in life and be open and empowered to live their uniqueness? The answer is their own heart, their own passion. In years of studying creativity and the journey of exploration into our creativity, years of studying creativity with a single point focus, the observation found seemingly true for everybody is that within the individual's heart is a unique passion. It is we each have something unique to bring forth into this world and experience it. Often, actually more often than infrequently, one is not aware of their passion because it is a feeling. It is not something the mind can fully grasp and put its hands on and say, this is it. There may be many things we can do in life that allow our passion to be expressed, but the key is our passion being expressed in a way which provides an inner satisfaction unique to us, and we are fully open to reveal what arises in us. If we are not able to express what can be called our heartfelt passion that comes from the depth of our heart and is what gives us life, one will never find satisfaction in life and have the courage to live in their uniqueness. It doesn't matter how successful one is in the eyes of the world. If they cannot find their own heart, their own passion, and what's important to them and their unique creativity, and with its unique perception of creation, they will never find satisfaction in life. To live and be in the uniqueness, one has to be empowered. Empowerment goes well beyond giving information. It gives the individual an understanding of a way of being in the world that is unique to them, so they find and do what they came to do, which is challenging. It is a challenge we all face. The challenge we face is, are we living our heart and what our heart and our heartfelt passion desires? It is what lies in our heart and which gives us life and brought us into the world. What I found is the single most important thing I can tell an individual is learn to live your heart, knowing that it's unique and there's nobody else in the world that can explain it to you and live it for you. It's a solo journey. We each have to do it ourselves. but our own heart is the answer to that satisfaction of life and fulfillment in life that we all look for, and it is found within our own heart. We need to remember to create is to bring something into existence. It can be a way of being, an object, an organization, or simply acting on any thought one may have. To create lies on a spectrum of creating an exact copy of something at one end of the spectrum and something new, original, never seen before or experienced at the other end of the spectrum. To create a copy of something, our mind is very important to give all the details. But for something never before seen or experienced, mine is of little value. A truly original creative endeavor is to bring into existence something not previously experienced or significantly different. The mind only knows the past and what it has experienced. If what is created is something never before experienced, mine is of little value. As such, we must enter the unknown for a truly original creative endeavor. Our life is a new original creation. No one lived it before. No one will live it after us. As such, we are faced in living in the unknown, which can be frightening. However, if one is creatively empowered, they know they possess within themselves the power and ability to create a satisfactory solution to whatever they face in the unknown. Within the understanding discussed here, what has been observed, the most important thing one can do for another is to empower them to live their own unique truth and heartfelt passion, and give them the safe space to learn to express their passion, assist unconditionally where possible. It is recommended you do the same for any other.